All right, let me share my screen. Okay, ready. Okay, hello everybody. Can y'all see my screen? Looking good? All right. So, hi everyone. Thank you for coming to this meeting. Today we're going to go a little bit over Creative South, what to expect, what to anticipate. For anybody who isn't familiar with it, this is a great info session to learn all about Creative South, what it's for, what we do there, and all about that. So, let's get into it. But before we begin, really quickly, I just wanted to give a couple of updates. Firstly, we are going to have some volunteer signups on November 16th for art night. So if you guys are interested in volunteering for that, please keep an eye on our Instagram. It should be uploaded on our link tree. And also, if you are dropping off any artwork for art night, just know that is going to be the same time as our GBM, which is 5:30 to 7:30. Please, please, please apply if you haven't yet. Please, we would love to sell all of your guys' artworks. It's going to be a super busy night. So, you have all these people that will definitely be passing by the GDSA table. So please, please, please consider applying and dropping off your artwork. It's a great opportunity. It helps us and it helps you too. On that note, speaking of GBM, we have our Donuts and Doodles GBM coming up on November 18th. And then lastly, I'm sure you guys already are aware, November 21st, which is next Friday, is going to be our art night. So yeah, like I said, keep an eye out for the volunteer form. And if you haven't considered applying to art night, please do. So let's get into it, shall we? So, Creative South is a design conference that is meant to bring together artists, designers, and creative professionals from all over the country. It's a really, really great opportunity to network and develop your professional relationships. It's also really great as a student because you get a lot of learning opportunities as well through Student Day and a couple of other activities that they have in store. We have Victor here in the room with us. I don't know if you guys have seen him, but Victor, if you want to give a little, shout out to Creative South and tell us a little bit about it and your perspective.
Sure. Thank you, Kathy. So we've been going as a student body to Creative South since I believe 2015. So this would be our 10th, our 11th year going over there. And it actually started with our students. So at the time, GDSA would always take a trip to a conference somewhere. And before Creative South, it was this conference called Photoshop World. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Photoshop World, and I think it's still around, but it's essentially we would go and learn about the latest tips and tricks on Photoshop. And it wasn't even an Adobe thing, it was a separate thing. But one of our students back in 2014, 2015, her name is Kathy. You guys would know her now as Kathy Baptista. Kind of sat down and was wondering if there was a better or a different conference that they could go. And she started researching conferences that are in the area, and she found this conference that wasn't too far away. It's a 6-hour drive in Columbus, Georgia. And when they came back, they were kind of talking highly of it, the experience that they had. And then I started going the following year, where I was invited to speak on the stage, and I've been going ever since. And essentially, it's a relatively small conference, relatively affordable conference when you compare it to the likes of Adobe Max or AIJ conferences, where it is at its a few years ago at its largest, there was only about 800 or 900 people, because they would have it at the Springer Auditor at the Springer Theater, which is this old kind of Civil War era theater. And now we've since moved it, so I think the size of the conference is something in the ballpark of 500 or so people. So it's an intimate conference, which allows you to meet a lot of really great people, a lot of the people that you might admire, a lot of the people that are just doing things that are very similar to what you're doing, maybe at a similar stage in the careers, or people that have been around, and make friends and make connections and hopefully get inspired and learn from their experiences. So we in the past few years, about 4 or 5 or 6 years ago, whatever it was, I've been involved with the programming committee with Mike Jones, who is the founder of it, and I handled the education part of it, which means that we have a portfolio reviews, we have a speaker for the students. We serve you guys lunch during portfolio reviews and things like that. And we're still trying to figure out, based on this meeting that we had with some of your classmates that are here right now a few weeks ago with Mike, we're still trying to figure out exactly what that entails. But we try to make the student experience as dynamic as it could be. We offer some scholarships. In the past few years, we've had several of our students win $1,000 scholarships that they can apply to whatever it is. One, Josh Alonso from last year even got an internship, a 1 year internship with Heyo, which is Peter Del Tondo's company where Mike Jones also works. Peter Del Tondo being one of the other organizers of Creative South. So Mike is really pro giving those students the opportunity to connect and grow and just build on their careers. It's a good opportunity for the students to meet other students from different schools, and collaborate in some ways. Maybe you can get inspired, see what they're doing, see how we can learn from them, or see how they can learn from us. Um, so it's always been a really, really great experience. And those of you who are juniors in this group right now know Will, and I actually met Will from Creative South. So I knew Will a few years before he actually started, for several years now before he actually started working here. And when I asked him why he wanted to come work at UCF, one of the reasons he gave me is that he would see our students every year at Creative South and see the energy and the cool things that they were doing, and kind of wanted to see what that was all about. So the student experience or the students' activities is one of the things that attracted him to apply at UCF. So there's a couple of videos from past years in the GDSA YouTube page that I'll share with you in the chat so you guys can get an idea of the activities that they might have. Some of these are several years old, so you'll see that, they're like from 2018, maybe 2015 or whatever. And the venue will be different. Again, we're no longer at the Spring Auditorium, but the vibe will be the same. So there are speakers, there is a theme. Like this year's is like I want to say it started off as a Survivor type of theme, like you voted off the island type of thing, and now it's changing a little bit from what I can see. But last year it was Waffle House or something like that. And in the past years, it's been camping. So they've had a camping, like an RV on the stage. So that Mike goes really all out to really create a theme or create an experience for the attendees. And a couple of years ago, we had a live band because the theme was like a Tonight Show, kind of like a late show type of thing. And that was such a big hit that we had him last year as well. So there's a live band that kind of does the rim shots when Andrew comes out. Andrew Hawkrattle, who some of you might know, started off as an attendee, and he was on stage one time, and he did something that caught Mike's eye, and he was invited to be the host the following year. He's been the host ever since, and he's just a dynamic, really friendly. Oh, he had the whole auditorium crack their knuckles at the same time, and it made this noise, and I think that kind of like made Mike laugh. And that's why he's like, "Do you want to be the host next year?" And that's what kind of stuck. So Andrew really kind of goes all into to the the themes. We had a Game Boy type of thing, like a whole arcade scene on the thing, and he painted himself as, blue, like Sonic one year and things like that. Actually, I've been his roommate for the past several years, so the painting of Andrew fell on me, if I'm being totally honest. So you make those connections like that and try to. It's just a really, really fun experience. So I'll stop babbling now. I don't know if there's any specific things, Kathy, that you want me to talk about. But yeah. So I think everybody that goes leaves thinking is like, oh, I want to go back.
Thank you, Victor. Appreciate it. No, there's nothing specific that I wanted you to talk about, but I just wanted to, hear your perspective on it, hear what it's like from somebody who's been going for the past couple of years. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much summed it up. It's a really, really great community building experience. And, I think that, like you said, the intimate setting really helps to foster those relationships and connections. And yeah, we'll get into it a little bit. If you want to stick around, Victor, you're more than welcome to. But if you're busy,
Of
feel free.
course. No, I'll stick around for some questions. And one thing I meant to say too is that I would encourage everyone, if you can go, to really get involved as much as you can. If you go to the Creative South site there, you'll see that one of the main pictures that we have there is actually the Orlando picture. And every at the end of every Creative South, I call all of Orlando, whether you live in Orlando or you used to live in Orlando, come stage, and we take a big group picture. So Orlando has always, not only UCF has, Orlando has for the past several years after we started going, has had a great um, uh, there's been a lot of us there. So, but I would encourage you to try to participate in as many things. I know Morgan Mullen from last year, for instance, the first year she went as a junior, participated in Ink Wars, which is, we kind of stole it at UCF with Creative Clash, but essentially big boards where you kind of draw on it for an hour with a whole bunch of people around you. And in Creative South, there's like a few people that have drinks in them already. So there's kind of like a little bit kind of like friendly, kind of like trash talking a little bit. And then the following year, as a senior, they asked her to be a judge. So I would encourage everybody to get involved as much as possible. So I'll be quiet now, Kathy. I'll just stay around for like any questions that you may have.
Awesome. Thank you, Victor. But yeah, basically, he gave a brief synopsis of what Creative South is about. We'll get into it a little bit more and also the details for you guys that are interested in attending Creative South with us through GDSA. So let's move on. Me. So yeah, like Victor was mentioning, Creative South is a really great community building experience. There's a lot of different activities and events that you can participate and be a part of. And we'll get into some of the big ones, especially for the students. So,
Okay,
yeah,
I can start. So
yeah.
hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm GDSA's treasurer, if you don't know me. So I was lucky enough to be one of the juniors to be invited to go to this year's Creative South. And you should really know Creative South is a nationally recognized design conference that brings people together from like all over the country. And it's not just designers, but it brings together like artists, and other creative professionals from all different types of creative fields. Um, and there's so many different types of events as well, one of them being the bridge party. So I went here also last year and it was so cool. So it's a big social event that takes place on a bridge, and you can meet designers that are all attendees. And you can even meet some very well-known designers as well. Um, as long as you're there. There's some free food as well. It was very fun. And within the bridge party, there's also the Ink Wars event, and it's a live art battle where designers can compete by designing and drawing on a huge giant canvas. And it's super chaotic, but it's super fun to watch as well. They have music going on. I know they had like a little dance battle earlier this year when we were waiting for the judges to finish racking up their points, but it's super cool. It was also really nice because it was a little chilly, so everyone was just huddled together. But it was really fun. Alongside of that, so it's also a really good chance to connect and network with a lot of students and like I said, the professionals that go there. Um, it's super inspiring alongside with the keynotes, but just hearing everyone's stories that they've had there, and a lot of students from design schools say that's one of the highlights that they've had. Personally, like when I went, I know I can definitely agree with how amazing that it is. Um, Even with just starting the trip, I've gotten to get closer to my classmates on the drive there. As mentioned, it's like a 6 hour drive. So you can really spend time like getting to know each other with talks, it was super fun listening to music and just the scenery on the way there as well. Forming a closer connection with your classmates, you'll be rooming with some of them, and also just getting to explore Columbus and the whole conference as well. And I personally was really inspired, especially during this time where I know some designers can feel scared or worried about joining the workforce as a designer. just seeing everyone be so friendly and encouraging to each other was very inspiring. And it's like it makes you feel more confident within yourself as a designer, within like your design choices or how you want to approach your career.
All right, thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Vita, do you want to give a couple of pointers about the professional side of Creative South and all the career building opportunities?
Yeah, so Creative South is an excellent opportunity. I definitely recommend that you try to attend with us. And as far as professional growth goes, I think I grew so much during the conference
Mhm.
just by doing the portfolio reviews and going to the seminars and looking at some of the workshops. Um, at Creative South, you are going to be a part of Student Day. And in Student Day, you go through this portfolio review. Last year, we got our portfolios reviewed by two different people. And I still like am in contact with them today. Like I still like follow them and keep up with what they're doing. And I like sneakily post my stuff as well. So they keep up with what I'm doing. And it helped me a ton because they would give such valuable pointers of things that you don't expect. Like Victor and Ashley are amazing. They give amazing critiques. I appreciate their feedback, but getting a lot of feedback from a variety of perspectives is also incredibly important. So definitely recommend you also get like a nice little uh lunch that is provided during student day. You also get a speaker come in and they present their work and their design experience, which is amazing. I think last year it was Studio Temporary, right, Victor?
Yeah, Scotty Fuller from the Studio Temporary.
Yes, that was amazing seeing all of his logos and like that really stuck with me. But while you're going through all of the portfolio reviews, you're also critiquing other students' portfolios. And that is really eye opening because you get to see how other design schools are teaching and what advice they are giving their students. And you sort of grow this community of your own people, of people your age, of people learning graphic design just like you. And the best part, if you go through the critiques and you submit a portfolio, you get added to the scholarship opportunity. And last year there were 5 scholarships. Each scholarship was $1,000, which is a lot. And UCF took home 4 of those 5. So this year I want it to be 5 for 5. I think UCF can do a full sweep. Um, so that is an amazing opportunity. It gets your name out there. It gets people to see your stuff. And one of the biggest takeaways that I learned from this conference is it's not exactly who you know, it's really who knows you and who knows you are good when it comes to networking. And I feel that advice has really helped me a lot with networking on my own. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm naturally an introvert and talking to people is scary. It is hard. But at this conference, when you're at the bar just chatting with your friends, I challenge you to be social and go up to people. I ended up with a circle and they started introducing everybody. I'm like, oh, hi, yes, I'm Via. And all of a sudden, I'm talking to James Barnard and other designers in this circle. I'm like, wait a second, I know you. So it is an incredibly valuable experience to grow your network and learn more about everybody in your area. And I will say at this time, you will also have a lot of projects and deadlines on the rise. So sometimes you might not be able to attend every webinar that you won't be able to attend every talk you want to because you have to prioritize some things. But one of the best experiences I had was working on my schoolwork at midnight because I procrastinated. And then all of a sudden, other designers come in and we're all burning the midnight oil, working on design projects together. And then you get valuable feedback on your work with your design community. So it is an excellent experience. If you have like any questions, I'm willing to like share more, but I also don't want to take up like too much of the time talking about me and my experience.
No, yeah, Vigo, you summed it up really well. Thank you. And yeah, like as she mentioned, there are really great scholarship opportunities as well, as you can see in this picture here of all of the students holding $1,000 giant checks. But yeah, as Vanessa, Via, and Victor alluded a little bit, a big component of Creative South, at least for the students, is the student day that we all get to attend. And yeah, it's a great opportunity to meet other designers with different backgrounds, different experiences coming from different parts of the United States. And they all get the chance to give their insight and shed a little bit of light on their experience and what they would like to see in your portfolios. I definitely remember student day being extremely helpful for me. I feel like when I started like my portfolio, it was good, but I think from hearing everybody's feedback on that day, my portfolio improved tenfold after that in literally the span of like 2 hours after hearing what everybody else has to say. And then, making those changes. And I felt like I could really see a massive change. But enough talk about all the potential opportunities and all that. We'll get into the nitty-gritty, especially all of the stuff that you guys need to know if you're traveling with us through GDSA. So, to attend with GDSA, you guys must be a active paying member of UCF. So if you're a yearly paid member, you're still an active member. But if you paid for a fall semester membership due, that means you would have to pay for the spring semester dues as well in order to be considered to come to Creative South with us. We'll be selecting travelers based on participation points. So, volunteering and attending as many meetings as you can will help guarantee your spot in Creative South with us. And ideally, you would want to be comfortable with having a co-ed space as well. Typically, we try to assign rooms and carpools by gender, but we end up always having a couple of stray numbers. So if you have whatever particular accommodations you might need, we'll be more than happy to try to accommodate you. But ideally, yes, we would like you guys to try to be co-ed. And as you guys see, the event dates go from April 9th to the 11th, but our travel dates will actually be from April 8th to the 12th, which we'll get into in a little bit. So like I was kind of alluding, in order to get to Creative South, we don't have a bus or shuttle or anything like that. We use a carpooling system. So once you guys are invited to come to Creative South with us, we will be meeting up with you guys and figuring out who exactly you're going to be carpooling with. This is a chance for all of you guys to get to know each other in the Zoom call as well, because if you're in the Zoom call and there's a chance that you get to Creative South, it's a very good chance you'll be coming with the people that are in this call right now. So yeah, get acquainted with all your GDSA members. And typically, I would say people travel in groups of 4 or 5, give or take. And like it says here on the presentation, you have the option to choose your carpool group. We get that sorted and figured out throughout the spring semester, and we keep in touch with you guys on that. And then, yeah, we typically leave on the day before Creative South starts. So on this year, it would be April 8th. And the way that we organize the carpooling is that we all meet up on the top of Garage I. We get all of us, meet at a certain time. And then, yeah, we all just drive up there 6 hours until everybody makes it to the Marriott Hotel. On that note, oh, wait, let me pass this over to Vanessa. Sorry, this is your slide. You got it.
You're good. So we want everyone to keep in mind that while they're attending through GDSA, that means that you're representing GDSA and UCF professionally while also having fun. And Kathy already mentioned you're be ready to have co-ed rooms, but just make sure you're available for the dates of April 8th to the 12th. So April 8th falls on a Wednesday, and then the 12th falls on a Sunday. So don't be thinking that you'll be excused on a Monday from classes because we'll be back on a Sunday. Um, and typically, everyone would be splitting their gas money because we wouldn't pay for that. So just keep that in mind of like which way would be easier to pay someone and just keep that in mind. But while you're over at Creative South, it's not just about the conference. You can go and enjoy Columbus by going to many cafes and restaurants in the area. But if you miss some necessities on the way there or before the trip, there are also grocery stores nearby. I know there's a Walmart nearby if you want to save on food and things like that. But in total, I would say realistically, expect to pay around $250 per person, excluding food or gas. This is very much a discount if you were to go independently. You can check out the website, but these $250 estimated cover your hotel room and your entry ticket entry to the whole conference. And besides this, I will pass it over again to Kathy, and we'll be talking about what you can do next if you want to go.
Yeah, thank you, Vanessa. So yeah, as she was mentioning, if you guys are invited to come with us, expect to pay around $250 per person, and that's not including food and gas. But that is a very huge deal because that is including both the ticket and our board as well. Like I mentioned, we typically stay at the Columbus Marriott, which is if the location hasn't changed, right, Victor? Is it the same spot? Okay, cool. It's literally right across the hotel, the convention center. So it's a really, really convenient spot. You're also right in downtown Columbus. Everything is within a walking distance from each other. It's very, very beautiful city as well. Very quaint, very historic. And yeah, it will definitely help, to get familiar with Columbus. And also, you have easy access to the convention as well. So like Vanessa was saying, we'll have a QR code that has a Linktree form to express interest in attending Creative South. So if any of you guys are interested, please fill out that QR code. It lets us know that you are interested in coming and we can gauge people's interests. And like we also were mentioning earlier, you still have a chance to attend more meetings and volunteer to earn participation points. Like we said, keep an eye out for the volunteer application form opening up for Art Night. And we're going to keep you guys updated on the funding, student government support, and also who we are selecting to invite for GDSA. I'm going to put up this QR code here. So I'll give you guys like a minute or so to scan that QR code. And then we can jump right into questions if anybody has any. Any questions, comments, concerns? No?
I have a question really
Oh,
quick.
yeah.
Okay,
Go for
so about like figuring out who you're gonna go with and everything. So obviously as of right now, like it's really early, so we're not sure everyone who's going. How would you recommend like we start to figure that out since we don't want to be scrambling when it gets to that point where we have to like choose who we're driving with and possibly like rooming with?
Right. So, in terms of choosing who you're going to be rooming with and driving with, once we send out the invitation, we're going to be hosting another meeting for all the people who have confirmed that are coming with us. So you'll get an idea of who's going to come based on that group. And then also, we do a room assignment and a carpool assignment as well. So we make sure that that is squared out and arranged before Creative South. And we typically have that finalized around end of February / mid-March.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
I probably have
We
another, but
also
I'll let everyone else go before I keep asking because I can ask later.
we also got a question in the chat about how much are each of the workshops / portfolio reviews. And for the portfolio reviews, those are free. It is part of like student day, so you'll get those for free. As far as the workshops, I believe last year they were about, I want to say $125 each. There were 3 different blocks of workshops, and in each block of workshops, there were like 3 different ones you could select. The workshops are great experiences, but you don't have to pay for the workshops to get a great Creative South experience. There are going to be keynote speakers as well, and those happen all day. And those are free to attend. And you also get incredibly valuable insight. Last year, there were presentations done by Good Type, Alan Peters, Amanda Russell, and it is such a phenomenal experience just to sit in the audience and just listen to people talk about something they are passionate about. And these conversations can like range from talking about creative burnout was a hot topic last session. There was like several presentations on creative burnout. There was one on Alan Peters and his logo designs and where he got to where he is now. So there's like a whole variety. My recommendation is in the future when they release who their keynote speakers are going to be and who their workshop people are going to be, take a look and find something that you're interested in. Some of the workshops last year was one that was like children's illustration. There is one on, I believe, calligraphy. Like they cover a whole variety of topics.
Thank you, Via.
Can I add to that real quick, Kathy?
Yeah, go for it.
So if you look at their website, the schedule is already there, and you'll see that Thursday is where the college, the student portfolio reviews are, and there's a luncheon for us. And then that same day, we're talking about the 9th, the same day there is the kickoff mixer, which is afterward. And then the bridge party would be on Thursday. And those blocks that Via was talking about are already kind of like set. I mean, they might change, but there's already like two for Thursday and one for Friday. I'm sorry, two for Friday and one for Saturday. And right now they've announced three workshop people. One is Joel Santana, who you'll learn how symbolic visual elements, light, color, composition, and subject matter can tell a story. Brooks Engel is a quick and dirty A to Z rundown on the world of merch design and production. And then the Creative Mints um, thrive off. I love the web and I thrive off using full potential to complete business challenges. So even if it's not quite clear what those workshops are going to be on, you can go in there and kind of like go to their Instagrams and probably get a good idea of what kind of work they do. And they also have, for the most part, I don't think it's all, but they have the good amount of the keynote speakers already listed as well.
Thank you, Victor. Appreciate it. Do we have any other questions in the chat? I can't quite see it, so I'm not sure.
I have a
Also,
question.
go ahead.
Just real quick. I noticed you mentioned doing homework during it. I assume that like probably most of our professors will be there with us. Does that mean that there won't be class that day? I'm assuming, so we shouldn't have to ask for like an attendance or anything, right?
Do you want to take that question, Via?
So last year on Wednesday, Ashley didn't have classes because she was at Creative South because she also had to travel with us. If you're taking other classes, however, like I was taking a lot of marketing and business classes as well for my minor, I had to let those professors know well in advance. So when you find out that you're going to Creative South, please, please, please let them know that, hey, I'm going to be out on X, Y, and Z day. Because the further in advance they know, the better it is for you. Because if you spring it on them, that's not a good look for you and it's not professional as well. And also, it sort of helps. Like in my case, last year I had a marketing exam on that day and I was able to get it excused because I was going to Creative South and because I had let them know months in advance.
Okay, cool. I just was wondering.
I'll also add to that that every so often students ask us, like for our seniors class, I don't exactly know when the final project is going to be done or due, but if you're one of the seniors, you might be working on said project during Creative South. But we sometimes get students that ask us to send their teachers the letters, and sometimes we do, and sometimes it works. And sometimes I've sent a teacher a letter saying, "Hey, Via is going to Creative South. Do you mind excusing her?" And they're like, "No, this has nothing to do with us. Unfortunately, no. We have stuff and good luck." And they don't care, you know, it's like, so you just have to be careful. You, like Via said, you have to make sure that they know ahead of time.
Yeah, but hopefully, like what Via is saying, if you're able to notify your professors in advance and ahead of time, hopefully you're able to plan for that and prepare. And like, if there's an exam, you can get it excused or maybe even take it before you actually end up going. That's what I did last year because I had an exam in a GEP class that fell on the same day that we were traveling. So even if it was like online, I literally couldn't because I was driving. I was the one in my carpool group that was driving. And I was able to take it a couple days in advance. So I was able to, circumvent that.
And like another thing is it likely that you're going to be working on projects during Creative South? Yes. But also work on the projects, but also allow yourself and make time to do things that are enjoyable and are fun. Like the bridge party is an excellent experience. Like there are free drinks, free food. It is amazing. Know your limits. Do not drink too much. Do not stumble back to the hotel room. But allow yourself to relax. Creative South is supposed to be fun. Do not like get bogged down into your assignments. Try to plan ahead, which is like pot calling kettle because I do procrastinate. I will fully admit, but allow the experience to be fun. This is like once in a lifetime. What is going to matter more in the long run? Is this experience and going to these keynotes going to be more inspirational, or would it be this assignment that up to you? Prioritize what is important to you.
For sure. I remember during Creative South, I was also feeling super stressed because of all the assignments, but at the same time, it was a very much needed break. And it's not like it takes up your whole week. Like it's like 4 days. You can still work, but it's like a breather, especially with how like quiet it can be there in Columbus. It's super nice. And I feel like it was definitely a little refresher that I needed.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, sorry, you go,
go
Via.
ahead. Go ahead, Kathy. I've been
Sorry.
yapping a lot.
Sorry, my bad. No, but exactly like what you two are saying. Yeah, it is a work related conference, but for me in my experience, I feel like it was so surprising, even though, it is work centered, how relaxing and enjoying it can be. And like I don't know, I have never attended a creative conference before until Creative South. And in my head, I feel like the idea of a conference is, a stuffy room where everybody's kind of sitting down and, there's like small talk happening here and there, but that's definitely not the experience that Creative South offers to its people. It's definitely super rewarding, very, very fun, very enjoyable. And like what Via was saying, there's a lot of activities that are very fun to attend and a lot of people there to connect with. And everybody that's there wants to connect with you. That's another thing as well. I remember being very nervous about trying to talk to professionals and experts in their fields, but they want to chat. That's why they're there at Creative South. So it's a very inviting space, a very welcoming community. And yeah, you get a lot out of it, even if like, you have to get through the nitty-gritty work stuff.
I have another question.
Yeah, what's up?
Since you mentioned that. Um, what should we bring if we do get picked? Should we bring should we make like business cards or any resume type things, or is it just networking through like social media? Should we make sure our social media is prepared?
I'll let Via take that question.
I'm very excited about this. If you
Okay.
want to be very, very popular and make people love you, bring stickers. Stickers
Oh,
is a huge thing at Creative South. I have like 100 stickers I got from just like talking to people. It is like definitely a part of the atmosphere of Creative South. Everybody has their sticker, everybody has their name on them. And it's not like stuffy like business marketing people are like, here's my business card. No, it's like, here's my sticker, here's my style, here's my vibe. And I feel like that is so poetic for creatives to have the sticker. It is also nice to have your LinkedIn as well. I do recommend it because you are able to network with other people as well. Like I have Dandron Words as a connection on LinkedIn because I like chatted with him for a little bit. And it's really, really cool and really, really weird at the same time. Just go like, hi, here's my LinkedIn. But honestly, that's half the battle. You need to network. Once again, I'm an introvert. I'm not a social person, but it is incredibly important.
Yeah,
You
and
also get a lot of free stuff. Oh, sorry.
sorry,
You do get a lot of free stuff. I have
you
like a
do.
huge swag bag of all the free stuff you get. Stickers, little journals, tote bags, like it's a lot of fun.
Sorry to cut you off, Vanessa. I was just going to add to that as well. For the student day, I really recommend having a solid portfolio set up. It doesn't have to be anything crazy like a website. It could just be as simple as a presentation. But you'll really get the best out of the student day experience if you have a professional portfolio or a portfolio that you feel like you're happy with and you want to present to other people. That's the whole appeal of student day and the portfolio review. So I would really encourage that you have a solid portfolio, especially a solid portfolio of the work in the design fields that you're interested in. So if you're interested in UX UI, for instance, make sure that your portfolio is full of UX UI related work.
And on that, a lot of like the feedback I got from me, and I know that some other people got as well, is they want to see more of your thought process behind everything you do. In my portfolio, at least, I had a lot more photos and like mock-ups and examples, which are great and do help. But really, with everything going on in the design industry, they want to know more how you think creatively and how you are different with your creative strategy. So that is my recommendation. Like, you don't have to write a whole essay, but to have like some key notes and like takeaways and like pointing out, hey, I made this design choice because of X, Y, and Z.
Any other questions? All right. I think that pretty much sums up everything that we wanted to talk about for this meeting. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and checking this out. It really means a lot. We're gonna probably upload the link tree or the Google form to the link tree. So if any of your friends are interested in coming along or any other members that you know but weren't able to attend this meeting are interested, just keep an eye out on that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to the Zoom meeting. I know it's a late meeting on a Friday night, so it means a lot that you guys are coming out to get a little bit more information on Creative South. And if you have any other questions or concerns, feel free to ask any of us at the GDMs or, if we're in the classroom, more than happy to chat with any one of you about like any particular questions that you might have or anything that's specific to you. And yeah, like we said, we're going to probably send out the invites for our members sometime around the beginning to mid of January. So keep an eye out for that as well. We'll send out an email to all of the people that we're inviting. And yeah, that's pretty much it on my end. Thank you, Victor, for coming to this meeting. I really appreciate it. I think you gave a lot of insight on the birth of Creative South and like why we go and why it's such a huge deal. And yeah, I think that pretty much
Thanks
sums
for
it
having
up.
me.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Also stop the recording here.